After a hard day's work, the evening sun serves as a time of reflection for the engines on the Fat Controller's railway. Its fading light keeps them searching for tomorrow, so the engines can tend to their work with an optimistic, adventurous mindset. For certain engines, the evening sun can mark the beginning of an important journey, which some may call the Flying Kipper. Arthur was marshalling the heavy vans for Henry to take across the island. Arthur was bubbling with enthusiasm. He loved the smell of fish and the opportunity to travel around the beautiful countryside. He rolled alongside Henry to say his farewells. "Good luck tonight, Henry," he said. "I certainly wouldn't mind taking the Flying Kipper on a fine evening like this."
Well, Arthur, the Flying Kipper is a delicate procedure, you see, and must be handled by an expert.
Donald puffed in with some freight cars. He had heard everything.
Do not fash yourself. The Flying Kipper has had its own share of mishaps, even with the old expert here.
The two engines chuckled and puffed away while Henry found himself at a loss for words. Night came, and all the preparations had been made. The important cargo had been loaded, the line had been cleared, and Henry's fire was burning brightly. Inch by inch, Henry's wheels moved courageously forward and into the darkness.
Here we go!
Henry was having the run of his life. He was making good time, and happily soared down the line through bridges and towns across the island of Solo. After a long journey, Henry was approaching his final destination. He eased slowly into the goods yard to receive his final instructions. His driver and fireman spoke to a foreman.
"I don't have all bloody night.
He scowled.
Shunt this lot into the siding."
Well, he's a bundle of roses,
Remarked Henry quietly to himself, and he promptly followed his strict orders. Henry reversed quickly, but he could not calculate how far the buffers were from the loading dock. His driver and fireman couldn't see either, and soon the end of the train smashed through the buffers and rolled clear off the track.
Blast it! Donald will never let me hear the end of this one.
The foreman was cross too, and hurled countless profanities while the driver and fireman looked hopelessly abashed. Then Henry had an idea.
Thomas told me about how some workmen set some sleepers to put his coaches on the rails. Perhaps we can still salvage the train if we do so here.
The men set to work immediately. Henry's plan was put into action, and when the foreman gave the signal, Henry pulled his train right back onto the rails.
To make wrong right, sometimes you have to improvise.
And he smiled broadly, realizing the night's journey may have been a success after all.